Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to go over tips and tricks to use when buying a used car. So if you're in the market for a used car, here are some things to avoid and to look out for so you won't get scammed, and then yeah, you'll have a bad day after that, dumping money into a car that wasn't supposed to be purchased in the first place. So I listed them in two categories, so just green flags and red flags. So first green flag is going to be listed all the repairs on the ad, so that's a plus. If he listed all the repairs that he or she has done, so brakes, suspension, oil change, all that, that's a good. It doesn't mean that the car is in perfect shape, because I've went to do inspections on cars where they've listed like a bunch of stuff, like at least 5-6 stuff that's been done, and then I found another 10 stuff that needs to be done. So usually it's a good sign, and then but you would always take precautions, obviously. So as long as they listed the majority of the stuff that need to be done. So what I like to see is going to be brakes, oil done, new battery. That's good stuff that you want to see, because if it's brakes all around, then that's already at least 700. If you're doing it on your own, or I mean, if you're doing it on your own, then it's 300-400. Okay, and then oil, maybe another 80 bucks, and then battery from $100 to $200. So let's say 150. So all these almost 800-900 bucks just from doing 3 repairs. And then if he lists suspension stuff too, that's gonna be very good. So front shocks, rear shocks, ball joints, tables, that's gonna be good, because it's gonna add on. So it's gonna be like bills that you're gonna avoid down the line. So brakes, oil, new battery, suspension, and all that. Okay, next up is happily answers all your questions. So if you have any questions about maintenance or the car's history, he's gonna happily answer it. If he's trying to avoid all these questions, or he says he doesn't have time and stuff, then that's a red flag. So I remember I messaged a dealer once for a friend of mine, and I just asked him for the inspection report, and he said there's no inspection report available. So if you want to come see the car, come see it, but there's no inspection report. And I'm like, okay, red flag, because you're a dealership. How do you not have a inspection report ready for the car? You're actually selling it, so the inspection should have been done, and then you should at least tell me what it needs and then what has been done. This one it's kind of a small detail. Punctuation in messages. If they message you all like, I don't know, if they message you all ghetto and stuff, if they write you as in you, or stuff like that, then that's a red flag. Some of these are people that are not mentally well sometimes. So always take that with a precaution. It's not it's not set in stone, but I always find that to be a small detail to watch out for, punctuations in messages. So yeah. Okay, next up is high quality pictures. So the worst is when they take really bad pictures, or when they have pictures on their phone. When they have pictures on their phone and then they actually screenshot the picture and then they post that. Why would you take a screenshot of the pictures you took? Just post the pictures you took. And so if he has really high quality pictures, then that's a good green flag. That means he's a serious seller, and then he has nothing to hide. If you see the lack of effort when taking pictures, like half-assed pictures, like I saw this ad once, I swear it was he took a picture from another car's, so he was inside another car. He took a picture from the windshield, like through the windshield to through the car that was parked, and that's the car he was selling. Like he couldn't even get out the car to take a proper picture. So I was like, wow, that's the most lazy pictures I've ever seen. Okay, so yeah, great quality pictures, not blurry, not look like they've been stolen from Google, because some people do that. You could see it's like pixelated, so you could tell that they just saved it on their computer and then they re-uploaded, so you lose a bit of quality there. All right, next up, shows maintenance receipts. So if people offer to show you maintenance receipts, then that's really good. Sometimes they'll show you like all the oil change they did, the brakes that were done, like all the other, oil leaks that were taken care of at the dealership or garage. So that's a really good sign. So they have nothing to hide when it comes to all the repairs and maintenance that's been done to the car. And you don't have to go in great details on the receipts as long as the VIN matches the car and the color and the year. So you could take that you could make sure that he's honest if all these match. Okay, next up is test drive. So as long as he lets you test drive it, obviously, and if the test drive checks out, if the car drives well, if there's no vibrations on the highway, loud exhaust noises, loud noises when going over bumps, the brakes feel fine, the steering wheel will feel fine, all the windows work, the AC work, the heating work. So that's a good sign that the car has been taken care of and he's not bullshitting you on all the other things. So if the test drive checks out, then that's a good sign. And then if it checks out, then you could move on to the final step, which is ask him for a mechanical inspection if he accepts that. So it would be on your you would pay for it, obviously, and that's going to go a long way, even if it's $100. And the mechanic is going to give you the final thumbs up on the car. The mechanic is going to be able to check like oil leaks underneath, properly measure the brakes, properly check the suspension if anything's loose, if anything is rusted and unsafe, if the subframe is rusted and all that. So a mechanic is going to be able to do that. He could also test the battery, test the alternator, and what else? Scan for codes as well. So he could scan for codes that are history codes, or what scammy sellers like to do is erase all the check engine lights. So a mechanic would be able to see the data PID on the scanner, which is monitor incomplete. So you would want to, if on the scanner the data PID that you want to see is monitor incomplete, and that's 0. So that's good. So that means the computer has done all the self-tests that it needs to do, and then it didn't throw any check engine lights. So if you see monitor incomplete and it's like 3-4 monitors, that means the seller either replaced the battery or to erase the codes, or he manually erased the codes, and then the computer has to redo these monitors, these self-checks, to bring those monitors incomplete number down to 0. That means they've done the checks on the evap system, exhaust system, and so on. So a good professional mechanic is going to be able to help you out with all of these and then give you the final thumbs up. And if the mechanic says it's a good car, or if it has a few issues that it would need to be done, then you would move on accordingly. So you would see what you would tolerate in terms of repair, if you're okay with letting one repair slide or a few, if it fits your budget. Or you could use that as a negotiation tactic. But the most important step is going to be this one, mechanical inspection, because that's going to save you a bunch of headaches. So I've done that for a lot of my customers. I go out and check the car for them, the car that they are interested in, and I would tell them yes or no. And I've avoided a few bad cars because they've gotten an inspection, so that's good. Right, red flags is probably just going to be the opposite of all of these. So bad pictures, like I said before, screenshots, it just shows that they're lazy and they don't really care. They probably just want to get rid of the car. Suspiciously low prices. So if it's lower than the market price, by 1,000, then it's fine. But if he's lower by let's say 2, 3, 4 grand, then he's probably hiding something. He's probably trying to get rid of the car, or but you would probably tell if you're gonna test drive it and all that. So avoid any suspiciously low price. There's only one reason. Either he's just trying to get rid of it like as soon as he can, or some people are kind of in a desperate spot where they need the money now, so that's also a reason why it's suspiciously low. Okay, next up is odometer rollback. This is pretty hard to tell if the odometer has been rolled back. I've only encountered one scenario where I could tell the odometer was rolled back because it was on a 2017 Cruze, and then it was at my work, so we had a used car inspection to do on it, and then the odometer was 37,000 kilometers, which was you could say a new car. Like, still 37,000, that's nothing. But what I've noticed was the brake pedal the rubber was completely worn out. Like, you could tell it's a car that's been, used over 100,000 kilometers for sure. The brake pedal was worn out, and also the key. So the key fob, the buttons on the key were all worn out, and the ink, I mean, not the ink, but the writing and the paint, the small paint on it was peeling off. So I was like, wow, even my car with like almost 150,000 kilometers, the key looks way better than that. So that's probably one that you could say, they rolled back the odometer, but I'm not sure if there's a scanner out there that could tell you the history of the odometer. It's a hard one to catch, odometer rollback. So unless you could check Carfax history, but even at that, then you're out of luck if it has been rolled back. All right, next up is, I've faced this many times, no attempts to fix the obvious. So if they have like a broken headlamp or broken taillight, just obvious stuff that they really don't care about fixing, then that's a red flag as well. So if they don't fix the obvious stuff, then imagine all the hidden stuff and imagine the maintenance. So it just shows that they are a lazy owner and they don't really care about the car. So that's a good red flag to watch out for. No attempts to fix anything or the obvious. And next up, it kind of works perfectly well with the previous one. It's only X to fix. It's only X easy to fix. So I had the inspection once on a Yaris, and the windshield was broken, and the guy just said, "Oh, the windshield is only $200 to fix. It's only this, it's only that." I'm like, and so you could just answer back as, if it's only this, then why haven't you done it? And it's never only this or the price they claim. They always claim like the cheapest price, like a windshield at $200 to be replaced. Like, that's kind of tough to find. I don't believe in like a windshield. At least what, 350 to 400. Like, I don't know why he said $200 to replace a windshield. They always, if it's repairs that they avoid doing, they always lowball it, and then, if it was only this, then why didn't you do it? Or this is easy to fix. Or when they say a check engine light, oh, it's only this, it's only the catalytic converter, or it's only the oxygen sensor. And it's like, okay, if it's only this, then why didn't you change it and then make the car look better so you could have a better chance of selling it? But it's never only this, it's always something else, or either they don't care about fixing it, or they haven't figured out why it's bad. So all right, next up is refusal to test drive. I haven't encountered that one before, but if you end up having a seller refusing you to test drive it, or maybe he just makes up excuses like, oh, I don't have time, or there's another buyer coming, so you don't have time to test drive it, then that's a red flag. Test drive is probably just the most basic basic inspection anyone can do. So if he refuses that, then that's a red flag. He's probably hiding a lot of noise, a lot of hidden stuff that needs to be repaired. So yeah, and then obviously if he refuses mechanical inspection, that's another red flag. So if you ask him, even if you're gonna pay for it, obviously, if you ask him that, oh, we're gonna go have that car inspected, so if he refuses, then you probably know he's hiding a bunch of stuff and he just wants to get rid of the car ASAP. So He's not even entertaining the idea of having a professional mechanic look at it or test driving it. So you'll notice people, you know, off the rockers, and some people look like crackheads trying to sell cars, and you could tell. I had a friend once like that where the guy was, who knows what kind of drugs he was on, and then he's like, oh, you know, he was hyping up his car, saying, oh, no, it doesn't need any inspection, you don't need to test drive it or whatever. And then yeah, so if the guy looks even a bit suspicious, then just walk away. You know, you're gonna save yourself a bunch of headache. All right, and that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you find it helpful. Hope you find it valuable. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.